welcome to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be creating this fun colourful look for you guys. I did create it for Pride Day as well, so if you are interested in how I achieve this look, then just keep on watching. So first of all, I'm going with my Arcona Cranberry Toner and I'm just using this to tone my skin. Then I'm going in with my Cora Organic C Serum and just putting that all over the skin, just pressing it in. Then I'm using my Marc Jacobs Youthquake Moisturizer. Now I find this is amazing to prime the skin, especially before a makeup. Then I'm just using the Barbie Eye Cream and just pressing that underneath the eyes and putting on the Dior Lip Glow Balm. I will leave any colours or anything like that down below if you were interested. If I didn't mention them, I'm sorry. I will pop them down below for you. Then I'm using my Benefit Precisely pencil. I use the shade 4.5 in this. Now I am a 3.5, but I like the 4.5 because I can go a little bit light-handed and it lasts a lot longer. Then I'm using the trusty old Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Light, and I'm just going underneath the brows just to clean up any pencil that I did take down too low. Also my brows needed waxing back here as well, so it's just going to hide any baby hairs. Then I'm using the same concealer just to prime my lids, and I'm not going to set this with any powder. I'm just going to blend it out and then go straight in with eyeshadow. For eyeshadow today, we're going to be using the Morphe 35B palette, and I'm just going straight in with the orange, just pressing it in, and then I'm going to be blending it out, just blending out the edges. The trick with bright colors like this is making sure that you're using pressing or patting motions to get that color on, and then just blending it out from there. I'm going to kind of just blend out the edges, and then I will blend it all out together once I do go in with all the other colors. Now I'm just going to be going in with that red shade in the same palette and just pressing that on the outer corner just to give it a bit more dimension. With this look as well, I do want it to be super blown out, so it will get a lot really messy really fast, but you can clean it up because we are doing eyes first. I don't know about you, but I do go a bit crazy with my blending. So don't stress if you do make a bit of a mess, because I did as well. And I'm just going to be switching between the two colors and just patting it on and blending it through. Then using the yellow shade in the same palette, I'm just going to be putting this on the inner corner and blending it into that orange. Now I found this was a bit too orange, the yellow, so I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Thirsty palette, just the yellow shade in that one, just to go over it a bit more to make it a bit more neon and a bit more bright. That's what I want this look to be, is super bright. And just blending that into the orange. With a look like this, you are best to have a few different brushes, one for each color, so then you can keep on going back to the same brush. Now I'm just using the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette because I did find the red in the Morphe one wasn't as deep as I wanted it to be, so I'm just going to be using the one in the Blood Sugar palette just to deepen that up a little bit. As I said, you will need to revisit all the colors again and again as you do keep on blending, just to make sure that they're super vibrant and they're not blending into each other. And I'm just going to clean up the outside of the eyes just to kind of give it a bit more shape, as I did blend it a bit too far down. Now using that yellow shade from the Thirsty palette, I'm just going to be popping that underneath my eyebrow bone so it is super blown out, and also so it does also come from the inner corner as well and join in there. Then using my Marc Jacobs primer, I'm just going to be popping this all over the face as my skin was a bit dry. Then using the Tarte Found Sealer foundation, I'll leave the shade down below because I can't remember what shade it is. This one I find is best applied with like a beauty blender or even your hands, as it does have serums in it. So I find if you use your hands, like, it does release all the serums and it's really beneficial for your skin. But a beauty blender does the same job as well. So I'm just blending that throughout all over the skin. Now with this one, I find it's like a light to medium coverage, but it is super buildable. So I'm going to build it to a probably like a medium to full coverage, I would say. Then using the Sephora concealer in the shade 30, I'm just going to be going under the eyes and through the center of the face as well, just to give it a bit more dimension. And I'm just going to use my beauty blender just to blend that out. Then using the Coty Airspun powder, I'm just going to be setting under my eyes and through the T-zone. This is where I find I get the most oily. And also going to set my laugh lines as they do crease really badly. Then going in with that yellow shade again, I'm just going to be taking that underneath the eyes as well. Then going in with the pink shade in the palette, I'm just going to be pressing that into the red and just blending it underneath the eyes. And just using a clean brush just to smoke that out a little bit. And just patting the colour in, and then using the blending brush with nothing on it just to blend it all out again. Now I'm just using the purple shade in the palette and I'm just blending that underneath the pink just to give it a bit more colour. And that's going to be our next colour in underneath the eyes as well. So I'm bringing that a little bit in, but mainly keeping it underneath that pink. And just blending it into each other and smoking it right out. Oh my gosh, the facials that you pull when you're blending out your eyeshadow. It's like the ones that you try not to pull when you're doing mascara. Now at this point I actually hated this eyeshadow look, but I remember like thinking, just keep on going, Tay, like you've already made it this far. And I did take it a bit too far out, so I just got a bit more of that Found Sealer, like the foundation, and I just pressed that around it to kind of blend that in a bit more and get rid of some of it. And just giving it a bit more shape to make it a bit more cat eye again. The trick to this is honestly just blending and like patting and blending and going back into like different colors. Now I found like this was looking a bit flat with just all the matte colours, so I did go in with the Huda Desert Dust palette and just use that purple shimmer shade in there just to give it a bit more dimension. Then going in with the blue shade in the Morphe 35B palette again and just putting that in under the eyes. Now this blended in super nicely with the purple shade from Huda's palette, just because that purple shade did have like blue reflex. And as I said, I'm smoking this all out, so I did bring it down to like my cheekbones. Now just using the green shade in the Morphe palette and just blending that into the blue and the yellow. Now I'm just setting my face with the Marc Jacobs powder. I will leave the proper name down below for you guys, and also the shade. Super nice this powder because it does have like a little bit of like luminosity to it, so it's not going to mattify your skin, which I'm really into, that like dewy look. Then using the Benefit 24-hour brow setter, I'm just going in with the long side of the comb just to get that product through, and then I'm going to be using the shorter side to stick up like my hairs. Make them look super fluffy. Now I'm going in with the Becca, Chloe and Malika palette. This one has been discontinued, which I'm really sad about it. But I do have another bronzer that's like super similar, which is the Fenty one. So I'll leave the shade down below and leave those details for you. Then just using the blush in the same palette, just popping those on the apples of my cheek. Now for highlighter, I'm using the Becca Champagne Pop. This is a staple in my makeup collection. I think I have like 3 of these. And I'm just popping that on my cheekbone using the Anastasia A23 brush. This brush, if you haven't tried it, you need to get it. Putting a little bit down the top half of my nose as well. I don't want to bring it down too far, otherwise it does elongate your nose. Popping a little bit on the Cupid's bow and in the corner. Now going in with the Tarte Surfer Curl mascara. This is one of the new ones, so if you haven't tried it, you really need to. I found it's done wonders for my eyelashes. I did have lash extensions last year for 6 months, and since I've been using this, I'm finding that they're actually growing as well, which is incredible. Now just using the Fenty white liner, and I'm just going to be drawing little stars. So basically what I did was I just did a cross and then I circled them off in the middle just to give it that kind of star look. I hope you can see what I'm talking about, because I'm so bad at explaining things like this. Now I'm just going to be doing like little dots to make it look like the smaller stars. Now to set the face, this is actually the Cover FX Illuminating Spray. I've just popped it in a different bottle because the other one was spritzing white little dots at me. And I'm just using, ooh, what lip pencil is that? I think it's actually a Natio one, so I'll leave the colour down below for you. And then just using my Tarte lip gloss, I'll leave the shade down below. And that is the finished look. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, like and subscribe to my channel. I will be trying to get some more videos up like this for you. Also, my Instagram, just Taylor Healy. Bye!